Tijuana, India, Osaka. Just bring us back too. Let's kick the beat. 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 Mushroom hunting. Mushroom hunting. Mushroom hunting. Mushroom hunting.
Welcome in, everybody. My name is Mealtime with Dad, and I can't speak. Today we're cooking up some rigatoni alla Gricia with bacon. Don't ask me what those Italian words mean, because I don't know. Music, as always, for, well, as seen for the last couple of streams. Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. Now you know the man I am. Could you forgive me? I fall like the sands of time, like some broken rhyme at feet no longer there. I would. All right. Let's go through our ingredients here. Bacon, rigatoni, spinach, little bud mushrooms, a lot of white cooking wine, shredded parm, one shallot. And because we love the meat, we're going to add chicken booba. For the extra delicious meatiness. Never felt so real to me. Ad starting here in about 5 minutes, folks. Let's get this started. Start off by adding 10 cups of water to a large pot. Okay, 10. We're going to throw in a tablespoon of salt into our water here. Then we're also going to cover it so we can get it boiling fast. While that happens, I'm going to wash down these mushrooms and cut them into quarters. Am I lining up my mushrooms because I like order and structure in my life, or because I'm autistic? Yes. Actually, I'm not. Ironically, I'm someone who rails against structure but also desperately needs it in order to function. So I'm a proverbial dog chasing his own tail. Let's have a little drinky. And the ads are starting in 5 seconds or so. There we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're in ads. These Seribots are a little bit behind the ball today. Hey, Sky. Long time no see. How are you? Don't mind, I got the ads.
Everything is clearer now. Life is just a dream, you know. It's never ending. I'm ascending.
Hi, Cold. I'm mealtime with Dad. Now, I feel you on the cold, Cordell. It is cold as fuck where I live. This morning, the temperature was like minus 24. Feels like... No, it was minus 28. Which feels like minus 41. Or something absurd this morning. Needless to say, I have not gone outside of my house for the last couple of days. Because fuck all of that. Accidentally had you muted. Excellent. So what I was saying was, it has been cold as fuck here where I live as well. I looked at my phone this morning and it was like minus 20 something, like minus 28 or minus 38 feels like minus 40 or like minus in the low 30s. But basically colder than most commercial freezers. You know, Cinderlane, I think you have full blurb moderation for my channel, you know. You might be able to actually approve that walk on yourself. I have no idea how you'd go about doing that. But outside of having my stream key, you could largely impersonate me with the admin level power you have. Not that you should get any funny ideas about that. Crozot says, I'm trying to get a walk in 7 days in a row. Apparently it's 25 F here. I don't know freedom units. But I know that 32 degrees is cold, so... I'm in Tennessee. I don't have good cold weather clothes anymore. I have a conveniently chubby cold weather body, which does help, but not when the temperature gets this cold. Lights are too bright in here. Here we go. Can you use me as a heater? You would have to engage in a life or death struggle with my son. And I think we all know who would come out victorious in that contest. He's a feisty one, that boy. He might be a sweet boy on the outside, but... And he gets riled up. He's got that rip out your spine and show it to you energy. You don't want to fuck with that. Hey, Marshall. Sorry I didn't manage to catch much of your stream there. I was there, though. I can say that I was there. I was a viewer. We're just starting on a Rigatoni Alla Gricia with bacon and chicken. And yes, I know I just cooked a bacon and chicken dish yesterday, but you know what? Bacon and chicken is a delicious combination, and fuck you for questioning my logic. How dare you? Not fuck you directly, Marshall. Although I'm sure it would be enjoyable for all parties. My internet crapped out right at life or death struggle with Junior. What? I said, if you want to have me as your heater, you would have to engage in a life or death struggle with Mealtime Junior for that right. And I think we all know who would win that particular contest. Because while he is small and sweet, when riled up, he also has that tear out your spine and show it to you energy. And you don't fuck with someone with that kind of energy. Oh fuck. This knife is now so sharp that when I cut through the spinach, it actually briefly got stuck in the board. Note to self. Less force while cutting. Good thing I have a whole bunch of wax and oil for this thing. I felt a stick. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, that was confusing. One of many reasons why jump scares are fully disabled on the channel. Like actual jump scare design sounds. Sorry, chopping board. Oops. Don't abuse your wood. No, just beat it. For adult, do you have whetstones for your kitchen? Marsha says, I saw that. I acknowledged you and even shouted you out. Plus, dedicated the stream to you and your community because you guys gave me the motivation to stream again. Man, I'm sorry, but Marshall, I totally didn't catch that. I just kind of came in, said hi, and then popped a lurk because I'd literally not much longer ago finished work for the day, and I was all socialed out. So I just kind of sat and stared blankly at Star Trek Voyager for a bit because I'm rewatching the whole series before having a shower and then coming online to entertain you lovely people. Corda says, "What for my kitchen? Wet stones. Stones that are wet. Not to be confused with kidney stones that are also stones that are wet. Or any other variety of whetstone. This is the whetstone to do this with a knife on. You do not? FYI, Marshall, whetstone in this instance is spelled W-H-E-T. Whetstone. The more you know. But Cordell, you can get like a set of double-sided whetstones, like a set of 3, so you basically get 6 different grit levels for not a great deal of money, less than $60. Didn't you hate that, Marshall? You try not to be wrong, and it ends up being the wrong one. It's like, motherfucker. Okay, this knife is sharp on a level that is actually problematic. Because now I'm paranoid and I feel it biting into the board on each slice. It's like tuning up a car to 2 high levels of performance, except the knife. Hi Daddy, better trim those thin. I'm gonna finally chop these MFs. Drive someone mad by pronouncing it like Stewie pronounces Cool Whip. What do you mean like Stewie pronounces it? Doesn't everyone pronounce it Cool Whip? Cool Whip whetstone? What? Alright, let's see how thinly I can slice. Will Wheaton on a Wednesday with his Cool Whip whetstone. I'm upsetting myself with this. Okay. I've cut that thin enough for you guys to see the knife blade through it. And for the camera to struggle focusing on it. Focus! Fuck it. Needless to say, this knife is sharp enough that I could actually shave with it. Where can you purchase whetstones? From Amazon. I personally, my whetstones, they start in at like, I think they start in like a 400 grit. Then they move up to 1,000 grit. Then 3,000, 6,000, and then 8,000 grit. The finer the grit, the less abrasive it is. So for like your major defects in your blades, you start with a low grit. And then as you proceed up, you get into the territory of honing the blade, which is where the real edge comes in, basically. And you know, if you get double-sided, then you get more grit and basically more ability to refine your blades instead of having to buy like a whole 1,000 grit block and then a 3,000 grit block and so forth. Now, some of them do use shitty rubber adhesive and come apart. I need to re-glue this, but that's not a big deal. Let's see. 3,000 grit, 8,000 grit. And if you spend 10 minutes per knife every 2 to 3 months, I'll put it this way. I've owned this set of knives for as long as I've lived in Canada. And they are cheap barberware knives. There's no fucking Damascus steel bullshit in this house. I've got these barberware knives and a knife from a company called Meeson Cooksharp that I kickstarted, which is this guy. This one is made of Japanese steel. Nihongo. And that would arguably be my nicest knife. Nihongo? More like Nissan-go. Nissan! I need to learn more Japanese. Maybe I should do that this year. I do have a lifetime subscription to Rosetta Stone. Perhaps I should make something of that. Why am I looking in my fridge? Garlic. That's why I'm looking in my fridge. I know like a tiny, tiny smattering of Japanese words. Enough to kind of gesture and hoot and throw in the occasional Japanese word into conversation that I don't look like a complete clueless rube when I'm over there. Daijoubu! One of my favorite phrases that I currently know is the long form of just a second. You can say the short form of it, which is just chotto, or the longer, which is chotto matta takasai, which is, I believe it's just a second, please. I also like how the Japanese say, you know how when you're speaking, people go, the Japanese for that is, eto. Even that sounds so polite. And you can go half-half. Halfway to Giottomate. Yep. Omae wa mo shinderu. You are already dead. I've gotten to the point where sometimes I can read this out and be like, that's not what they said. Yep. Yep. I too am in that boat where I'm like, this is god awful localization. What the fuck? And then it's swiftly followed by, I don't know enough of this language to know what they're actually saying, but I do know this is not what they're saying. So now I'm twice as upset. So much opportunity for lost. So much. Alas, the opportunity is fleeting. Alright folks, so a little rundown of what we've done so far. We have boiled some pasta, the rigatoni over there. We have rough chopped some spinach. We have finely chopped some shallot. We chopped shallotl into shallot. And now we are mincing some garlic. Or rather, we're pressing some garlic. Crush your garlic. See them driven before you. That is what is good in life. It's finally late enough that I can begin to prepare dinner. In that respect, chicken and rice is too easy. Doesn't matter if it's easy or not. What matters is if it's delicious. It could be a 3-ingredient dish that you just yeet into a pot. As long as it tastes good. That's all that matters. Alrighty. All right. Let's drain that pasta and get to cooking some chicken. I'm going to venture out of my house soon to buy more avocado oil. I'm running out. Do not want. Cheers, chat. Oh, I need some kitchen roll. Ah. I've been trying to figure out what word you typed there, Cordell, and I finally realized that you were trying to type in stodgy. Which is a word that is not spelled the way you think it is. It's S-T-O-D-G-Y. Pretty sure there's no E on the end. That's a very British word. Often used to describe steamed puddings and the like. Such as the infamous spotted dick. You could describe such a pudding as stodgy. All right. Experiencing a moment of profound confusion. Ah. Butter. In the pasta. That's about a tablespoon. My default state. Butter. All right. Let's make sparkly noises. What, utter confusion? No, butter. Default state, butter. Sparkly noises. Pan. Sorry I'm late. Did you make the pasta? HelloFresh or just following recipe tonight? HelloFresh. HelloFresh. I do not have it in me to be making pasta. Nor do I have a fancy stand mixer to help me make fancy pasta. Actually, let's go back over here for a second. Can't let you folks miss out on meat handling. Would be most remiss of me. I understand the mission. Give the people what they want. And what my metrics tell me is that what the people want is to see these hands working with that meat. Or that meat. Well, that's on the other streaming platform, the one about spinny things. What is this Arabic music? Oh yeah, it's part of the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack as well. Alright. Now that we are appropriately seasoned, I'll just be here skinning chickpeas. Oh, what a time-consuming task. Can't you just put them in like a metal sieve and then get a little bit rough and rowdy with them? And just let the metal of the sieve basically erode the skin? We're going to do 6 minutes on each side. For those of you watching that don't cook often, please, 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 brown your meat. If you are browning your meat, you're doing yourself and whoever eats your food a terrible disservice. I like brown meat. Is it because I'm brown and made of meat, Cinderlin? Because for those that haven't noticed, I am in fact brown and made of meat. Maybe. Also, Pen, you Pen Gamer, I have sharpened my knives so much that they are now embedding themselves in my cutting board as I cut things. and I'm not putting that much force into my cuts. So I was like, oops. Oopsie. I turn my instruments into weapons. Again. Again. I typically keep my knives, as an ex-butcher, I typically keep my knives very, very sharp by default. Which, when someone comes to cook in my kitchen, I do the responsible thing and I warn them. I keep my knives astonishingly, terrifyingly sharp. Please be very careful while handling them. You know, I don't want liabilities. So, the girl I was seeing, this happened a few years ago, by the way. There is no girl that I'm seeing right now. But the girl that I was seeing goes in, starts using my little Santoku knife, which is this guy. Not 5 minutes later, do you have a band-aid? That knife is so sharp that I didn't even feel it cut me. And yeah, I wasn't joking when I said that these knives are phenomenally sharp. I'd be the test the edge anyways. I mean, I've done that once and it went deep into my thumb, and that was not a knife I'd even sharpened. That was just me testing the edge of a knife on a multi-tool when I was much younger. Although yesterday when I sharpened this thing, I had my thumb on the blade there when Cinderlin played a freaking little jump scare thing, and I almost took a chunk of my thumb off. Fortunately, my fear reflex does not involve a death grip. What I said was, good job. No, he said, good job, is what you said. I can't even push my mic to that level of volume because I have auto limiters set on my volume, so I can't blow out anyone's eardrums. So I can't even recreate what you did to me. You're welcome, chat. You shall learn something about me. Look at that lovely little sear. You're gonna crank that back up a little bit. Good job! Nice, there's another crispy skin of chicken. So good. I have a supermarket in my cell that sells pancetta, and I'm eager to buy some trout. Marshall, if you buy pancetta, get yourself some parsley, a bunch of eggs, some headphones that don't have freaking touch controls on them. No, parsley, eggs, pancetta, linguine, some Parmigiano Reggiano or other hard cheese, and you can make yourself a traditional carbonara with raw egg, and it is so fucking good. It is such a simple recipe to make, but it is so delicious. Cordot says, so I have this habit of sticking my foot angled up under something dropped. Therefore, to train it out of me, especially for when I've dropped knives. So now if I lose a grip on a knife, I jump back. Yeah. As an ex-butcher, even though I was wearing steel-toed boots, because I was the person that sharpened the knives to the absurd levels of sharpness, I had a years-long trained reflex of step all the way fucking back once a knife becomes airborne. Just yeet myself backwards, hands, and I will fully spread my hands outwards like I'm T-posing to assert dominance on the falling blade. Which, by the way, I am. But I also taught my son that reflex, so he doesn't try to catch falling knives. Also, folks, I posed a question in my Discord, I don't know if you saw it, about story time with Dad. Which, depending on the length of the book or the series of books I choose to read, might be a weekly installment kind of thing. Sidler says, I have the reflexes of a slope. The British pronunciation for slop. Oh, that's starting to burn. Or would be. I have the reflexes of a slope. But even if I were to try to catch one, it'd be like a week late. Would you also take a week to feel any pain? Fun fact, sloths can swim, and they look adorable swimming as well. If you haven't seen a video of a sloth swimming, I strongly recommend that you Google that shit, because it will enrich your life. And busy with chickpeas? That's why you tell your Googles to do it, or your Alexas. What planet is this? I just want to hear you read Go the Fuck to Sleep. Well, that could be arranged. Finally got Cowboy Bebop to load for me. Watch the first 2 episodes today. What do you think of it? I personally really enjoy like slice of life style anime. And Cowboy Bebop is exactly that, but in space with bounty hunters. And I mean, what's not to love about that? All right. We're going to keep on using this pan, this chickenized pan, with bacon. What planet is this? Da, da, da. And guns, and martial arts, and computer hackings, and a dog. You cannot forget a dog. So, are you watching the dubbed version or the subbed version? Because like I was saying yesterday, this anime is one of the very, very, very few that I recommend watching the dubbed version of it. The voice actor for Spike Spiegel, Steve Bloom, is amazing. I think it's Steve Bloom. Or is he one of the singers? Jesus Christ. My brain! I can't focus enough to read a show, to be honest. Well, that works. Yeah, Steve Bloom. All right, so we're going to cook down this bacon for about 5 to 7 minutes. Stirring occasionally until crispy. Cream. We're gonna be getting saucy in here. Hey, mealtime and chat. Hey, Brian. How's she going there, sir? Brian, I want to just remind you as well that if you didn't raid me because you didn't have anyone in your chat to bring with you, just raid me anyway. So that way the people in my chat get to see you and get to see your little clippy clips. And if you didn't raid me because you raided someone else, that's also fine. Fuck you. No, totally fine. No obligation. But like I said, you can raid me even with one viewer, with no viewers. Just make your little name pop up in my auto shout out. So that the people, the lovely people in here, get to see you. Otherwise, I have to ask Cinderlin to do it, and sometimes she gets sassy about shouting people out, usually herself. But any reason I could take away from Cinderlin to sass me, it's a good day for me. Because Lord knows I give her enough reasons all on my fucking own. Just by existing. I'll find new reasons. You don't even need to find, you just sit and wait like a spider in the web for me to say something fucking stupid. Let me tell you, I'm not flexible enough to put my foot in my mouth, but by God, am I stupid enough to. Upen says it must smell good in that kitchen. Absolutely. That's amazing in here. Bacon cooked in my house 2 days in a row. Yes. Says, I just find raiding and being raided to be fun. That too. By the way, folks, speaking of HelloFresh, if there are people in here who have never used the service before, I have some codes that will let you get your first week or your first box for free. You can only use it once, and they are smart in that if you try and make a second account and use the same payment method to the same address, they still will be like, oh, that's the same fucking person. Fuck them. But a free box of food is still a free box of fucking food to feed at minimum 2 people. So if any of you folks who have never used this before would like to, just let me know. I will be happy to provide. They have a huge variety of recipes on there as well. You can either go with the 5 they pick for that week, or for a little extra, you can start chopping and changing the contents of your box. Got ads rolling in 5 minutes, folks. Carefully drain and discard all but 1 tablespoon of fat. Looks like I've got about 3 tablespoons in there. Get some osmosis up in this bitch. Hell yeah! Science! Science, bitch! What were you saying about to be purchased along with pancetta? I heard something about parsley, linguine, and eggs, but I was talking to my uncle who is staying at my parents' house due to a toxic relationship. A, sorry to hear that about your uncle. Hope he's doing okay. B, that's really about it. Oh, you need some Parmigiano Reggiano, which is basically hard cheese. Or Parmigiano Reggiano. I don't know how to fucking say the name. Or you could use pecorino as well, if you don't have any other hard cheese. But yeah, you want to use a hard grateable cheese. If you just Google like traditional carbonara recipe, let me see if I can find it. I might have it favorited still. It might be the first result on the Google. Now, guanciale is difficult. It's very difficult to get hold of. Guanciale is cured fatty pork. But, you know, if you can't find guanciale, you can get pancetta instead. This is actually the recipe I cook or use. It's an incredibly simple recipe, but it's hearty. It's incredibly rich. We're going to cook these mushrooms down for about 5 minutes. Ads are starting in 53 seconds. If you hate ads as much as I do, consider throwing some money at me to make them go away for at least a month. But only if you can afford it. And if you don't want to, there's no pressure there either. Yo, G bro. What up, brother? What up, G brother? Brother! Or, as said in Metal Gear Solid, brother! We are cooking rigatoni alla Gricia with bacon and chicken. Another bacon and chicken dish today because bacon and chicken is delicious. Yeah, Marshall. I enjoy providing resources to people that can like account for both the visual learners and those who learn by reading. Mushrooms is a great move. Absolutely. Gee, bro, I'm going to drop this link for you as well if you missed it, and then I'm going to skip this track because I hate it. Go away. We're in ads, folks. So while we're in ads, please stand up, stretch, do a little wiggly wiggle for those muscles. I'm going to do a bit of a stretch as well. Oh, man. I should really use some of my healthcare benefits from work. I have like $250 to spend on whatever, as long as it's health related. I'll get a nice massage. Wellness spending, that's what it's called. I've never had a professional massage before. I stood outside in the cool night air and it was so refreshing. I forgot to take down the garbage cans to the curb because tomorrow morning, aka Tuesday mornings, are garbage days in my neck of the wood. Yupin says, speaking as another parent, if it gets to the end of the year and you have money left, use it all on band-aids and cold medicine. Not for me, because a few months after the end of the year is when the next year's property taxes roll around. And that shit costs me about $2,400 a year. Buy a house, they said. It'll be an asset, they said. Have equity. Oh, I see. For the account you can only use for like health things. I wonder if I could get away with that. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, so we are adding the shallots and the garlic. I'm running out of bacon fat to cook with here, so I'm gonna throw in a little bit avocado oil here. I have two. Oh, watch this. Dad, water has been tasting incredible to me lately. Every single kind of bottled water and even tap water is tasty. Hell yeah. I find that if you let the water run until it's really cold, it's amazing. There's nothing that beats ice cold water for me. Apart from Florida water, because that will taste worse than ass coated in cilantro. No matter what you do to it, no matter what adulterants you add to water from Florida, will still taste like you're licking the inside of a volcano. Tastes like Satan. Yupin says, I have two accident-prone boys that also bring colds home from their snotty friends. I just have the one boy, but he is also somewhat accident-prone. And is very prone, well, until recently, was very prone to putting his fingers in his mouth as a comfort kind of thing. He would suck on his two fingers. Alright. White cooking wine in the pan for that sizzly sizzle. It smells good. Reserved quarter of a cup of pasta water. Tastes like Satan. That's right. Florida water. Tastes like the sulfurous bunghole of Satan himself. Bunghole, bungholio. Hey, Culture. How's she going? So we're adding white cooking wine cream, reserve pasta water. We're adding a tablespoon of butter and a quarter tablespoon of pepper. Now, my ancestors find the concept of measuring pepper by the teaspoon offensive, so we're just gonna do one of these. Looks good. Now, butter. I says, yes, fucking ice cold. Also, I'm usually a soda drinker due to bipolar depression and such. So being able to once again steer away from it as much as possible is so nice. Hell yeah, brother. Get you some health gains. Right? Some things are never actually measures and always triple the garlic. Yes. I only have a few rules in the kitchen culture. One is that you brown your shit. The other, that you sharpen your shit. Another rule is that cilantro goes in the garbage. You wash your fucking rice. And that you always add extra garlic. Them's the rules. Them's dad's rules. Such as a knife maker. Ooh. Do you, sir, have merch? Because I could probably sharpen with this barbed knife because I just took it to some whetstones literally last night. And as a result, it's actually been sinking into my cutting board over here when I cut with it. And I'm not putting a great deal of pressure behind my cuts. Just to give you an idea of how sharp I made the thing. This is I think this is maple. I hope it's maple. It has a maple leaf on it, so I'll be somewhat irritated if they carved the maple leaf onto non-maple. I'm not sure what material this cutting board is made out of. Sidlin would probably know. Seeing as she bought it for me. Alright. I'm going to take the heat down here. I'd love to get like an actual butcher block. But the really well-made ones are not cheap. So we're going to throw in our spinach here. Somehow this leaf survived the choppies. Oh well. And the rigatoni. It's walnut. There we go. Walmart should go into the medical care industry. They could open all sorts of asylums and call them walnuts. There's your dad joke for the day. I have met my quota. The rigatoni! Just need thyme, wood, glue, and clamps. It'll be a really earthy dish. Mm. Alright, we're going to add half my bacon to this. Half my grated parm. Kocha, how's your Monday been, by the way? Hope the week is treating you well so far. Alright, we're going to take that off the heat. I'm going to quickly rinse down this chopping board. As it has come into contact with some raw bacon. And I now need to cut some cooked chicken on it. Hey, Cinderlin, are you going live tonight? I think I didn't do the maple because it was cheaper, so I figured the walnut was better quality. I appreciate that. I believe walnut is a harder wood than maple. We can go visit Bubs. Sure, we can visit Mr. Bubs. Alex streams tonight, so it's my night off, says Cinderlin. Oh, the kids are with Alex this tonight. This chicken's so good. Chicken is such a slept on, like just, it's so easy to make chicken delicious. Just salt, pepper, and then in the pan for about 6 minutes each side. Trying not to cut into the board now, I'm being paranoid. Hey, beautiful. How you doing? Can be better? Oh shit. What's if you don't if you want to talk about it, you feel free to vent. And yeah, said Lynn. It's easy to screw chicken up and make it dry and disgusting, especially if you under-season it. Juju Voodoo 27, how are you? Hope your Monday has been treating you well. Lost a friend of 15 years today to heart. I'm so sorry to hear that. Beautiful. That sucks. Would it help you at all to share some memories of them and keep them alive through their shared memory in all of us? If you would like to do that, you are very welcome to. But if you don't want to, you just want to disassociate and get away, totally understandable as well. I am open to either direction on that. He's like a dad to me, so just struggling a bit. Hopped onto Twitch to try and get out of my head. But if you remember the game, the Facebook game called War Commander. I can't say I do, but I'm guessing he was very active on it. He says, be back, my kid is calling. Gotcha. Well. Boiling eggs for ramen. 6 minutes on the boil, 6 minutes in an ice bath. Juju. Oh yeah. Have you ever taken the extra step of then seasoning your eggs? Like marinating them? To make Aikijitsu Tamago, I think it's called. I need to look up the name of it. It's AI something 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 Tamago. But I'll butcher it without looking it up. Yes. Might be damn it. Something Tamago. But teriyaki? You blend with teriyaki? The recipe I know of uses median soy, a bit of sugar, and then a dashi stock. Which you can buy in powder form from Amazon, and it keeps basically forever. You're back. Dip time. UPenn knows exactly what's up. Just by they were like jammy egg. My man, my woman, my person. Stay hydrated, folks. Dinner's served. And I have this much leftovers. Obviously, half of this would normally go to Mealtime Junior. But he's in the Netherlands. So it's just little old me. Which is kind of... So, as a single guy, every other week, it means I can stretch these meal kits to last basically an entire week. And that's where they start to become actually a financially viable thing, especially if you're using discount codes. Gato Logic, how are you? So UPenn, what I like to do is Chef's Plate also delivers to my area. So I actually have a Chef's Plate discount right now, which is like, I think it's 45% off, or it might be even 60% off my next 4 boxes. So for the next month, it's going to be Chef's Plate recipe kits. And then by the time that's up, HelloFresh is going to come back and be like, please come back to us. We miss you. We love you. And usually that will be like a 40% discount on like 2 or 3 boxes. Gato, if you have people who are spice averse, and if they like fish, tuna specifically, there's a spiced tuna cutlets or croquettes recipe in my Discord. The family recipe from my mom's side of the family, which is where I get this color from, that I shared with the good folks of my DGen community. So if you'd like to give that a whirl, well, welcome to hit up !Discord and check out the recipes channel. It was tasty sounding enough to entice Cinderlin back into her kitchen after literally 8 years of not cooking. And she absolutely nailed it. And then spent the next few weeks talking about how delicious my balls were. Which I'm never going to dissuade people from discussing in public, in front of hundreds of people. But good on your wife, Gato, for trying out the curry. Despite being spice averse, that's huge. I've said this before on the channel, but I certainly don't mind repeating it. I think trying foods from different nations, different cultures is it's a great way to experience the world from the comfort of your own home. And it may motivate some people to actually go out there and engage in the adventure of travel, or make that a goal to do. You just smelled it and said, okay, let me try this. Suppose I came home enough times with Indian food for it to finally warm up to the idea. There's a line, damn languages up. Folks, Marshall R. Jackson has redeemed Guide the Raid. So now I need to think up some raunchy little poem as my raid message. Folks, I need a word that rhymes with carbs. Kind of brain fart here. We're going to force the rhyme into yards. All right. Here is Dad's ad-libbed rhyme for the day. He heated up his pot so he could shoot that meaty shot. Tasty bacon and some carbs to make a meal that runs for yards. He's all done, so here we are. Take Dad's degens, and they'll take you far. We're gonna raid Bob's I think that's with 1Z. Scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, 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 up. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? BBB UBBZ. Folks, I will not be streaming. Well, you know what? I might do some video game streaming for the next couple of days, but I don't have any scheduled streams. So if you see me, you see me. Scheduled streams resume on Thursday. If you would like to catch the notifications of when I go live, because the Twitch notifications suck balls, please join my Discord by hitting up !Discord. I do not abuse the everyone tag, so you will not get notification spam from me. Beautiful. If you need someone to talk to, vent to, share memories of your friend with, you are welcome to come find me on Discord or on Twitch. And I will lend an ear. Maybe a spam stream? We could do a spam stream. Make some musubi and all sorts of good stuff. But for now, this pasta won't eat itself. So I'm going to attend to that. Thank you so much for choosing me to be your entertainment tonight, folks. As always, it has been a pleasure to chat with you all, to entertain you all. Thank you for the biddies. Sendalin for the gigantic emotes. Thank you. This is Elana. Please give her a follow if you haven't. She's a streamer. Also, bye.